Pesticides are the most common way structural and landscape pests are managed in urban environments. It has been estimated that more than 2 million pounds of urban pesticides are used for structural and landscape applications annually in California to control these pests. Residues from these applications are often washed by rain or irrigation into storm drains, which lead directly into creeks, lakes, and rivers. This contaminated water harms aquatic organisms and disrupts the entire food chain of sensitive water ecosystems. The Urban Pyrethroid and Fipronil Use, Runoff, and Surface Water Protection online course presents information on California's surface water protection regulations that were put into place in 2012 to reduce the amount of pyrethroids in surface water runoff. The course illustrates the types of applications allowed under the regulations, as well as those that are prohibited and those that are exempt. This self-paced interactive online course was designed by experts from the California Department of Pesticide Regulation, DPR, and the University of California. The target audience are pest management professionals who work primarily in structural pest control or landscape maintenance and use pyrethroids or fipronil in their work, but aren't necessarily aware of the harm these pesticides can cause to surface water ecosystems. The course is divided into 7 modules and takes about 1.5 hours to complete. Each module opens with an animated character briefly explaining topics covered in that section. Because the course topic is highly technical in nature, we strive to diversify instructional approaches by combining narrated screens with text and images, cartoon animation segments, short video clips, charts and graphs, and interactive screens. In several modules, learners can decide in which order they will proceed through the course topics. To move through the course, learners use next and back buttons on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. To meet the requirements for continuing education units, skipping through the content is disabled. On narrated screens, a rolling ball indicates progress. Knowledge checks at the end of each module help participants assess their learning. Module 1 provides an overview of the problem and briefly explains the history of pesticides used to control insect pests in structural and landscape settings. Frequently used products containing pyrethroids and fipronil are at risk of increased regulation and restriction due to their high detection frequency in surface waters where they may harm important aquatic ecosystems. Module 2 provides an introduction to the Surface Water Protection Program, part of the Environmental Monitoring Branch of the California Department of Pesticide Regulation. Learners can select the order in which they learn about 6 different aquatic organisms affected by certain pesticides before they get to a section on surface water sampling methods. Bifenthrin and fipronil, pesticides most frequently detected in California waterways, are addressed in the 3rd module. Learners refresh their knowledge of different pesticide properties related to their toxicity and persistence in the environment. Using an illustrated animated aquatic food chain, participants learn how these pesticides can affect the aquatic ecosystems. We have used an animated illustration to explain how target social insects distribute pesticide-containing bait to the members of their colony. Module 4 introduces the California Surface Water Protection Regulations implemented to reduce the amount of pyrethroids in surface water runoff. Module 5 presents types of pyrethroid applications allowed in outdoor, non-agricultural settings. There are 3 types of applications addressed in the regulations: those to soft surfaces, those to hard horizontal surfaces such as driveways and sidewalks, and those to vertical surfaces. Video clips or animated segments demonstrate how to perform each type of application. In Module 6, we have implemented interactive tabs and an accordion-type menu to explain applications prohibited by the regulations and others that are exempt. This module also includes a video interview of Robert Budd, a research scientist from the Department of Pesticide Regulations Environmental Monitoring Branch. He explains pesticide label regulations and restrictions for biphenthrin and fipronil products. In the last module of the course, we explain the importance of accurate pesticide use reporting, a unique system used in California. Real-world scenarios where learners download a pesticide label and a copy of the surface water protection regulations help answer questions of whether or not the regulations apply. After completing all 7 modules, learners may proceed to the final test, where 20 questions are randomly drawn from a bank of 65 questions covering all course topics. Learners must achieve a score of 70% or higher to receive a certificate of completion. If they don't, they are offered the ability to retake the test. Licensed learners who successfully pass the test receive 1.5 hours of continuing education credit towards their California license renewal. To comply with accessibility standards, we implemented essential elements such as sufficient color contrast, navigation through screens using the keyboard only, alternative text for images, and closed captions for all narration and video segments. Due to the highly technical nature of the course topic, we had very limited possibilities to address the diversity. However, when selecting photos showing people collecting water samples, we chose photos to represent different races and ethnicities. In the cartoon animation of Module 2 of the course, we have included a non-binary character, a person of color, as a lab technician. In the first month since its launch, 130 learners have successfully completed the course.